As far as when I was in high school and stuff like that, it didn't fit for me. It just didn't work for me. And I think, like I said, I went all the way to the 12th grade, and then I just realized that it wasn't for me and I had to find another avenue. I actually worked full time while I was in high school, and then I ended up just working full time for about 3 years before I decided it was time to go back and get my GED. So then I finally went and got my GED. GED came, I think I took my GED in December of '89. It came in the mail January of '90, and I started college that same year. I ended up at Northern Kentucky, is where I finally got my degree in political science. I'm the first one in my family to graduate from college, not the first one to go, but the first one to come out with a bachelor's degree. I think I just wanted something more. I was actually working at Spaghetti Factory. I was at Chuck E. Cheese as a restaurant manager, and I just wanted more, and I just wanted to see what other opportunities were out there. I think it just opened up a lot of doors that I didn't know existed. I think when I finally, because I never knew what I wanted to do even when I was in college. I ended up majoring in, like I said, political science. But I just think going to school, meeting folks, and just having an opportunity to be around different folks, I think it just opened up doors and more possibilities. And I think now it just gave me more of a better understanding of what education is. And I think now I got a different view on education than I did in my first 12 years of school. I don't think it matters what you learn. I just think it's the fact that you're learning, and I think, and just being able to open more doors for you. I just think education is more important than what I thought it was my first 12 years of school. I think for me, just seeing the difference is I think, like I said before, it's more important to me. So therefore, it's more important to my kids, it's more important to my nieces, my nephews, and the family around me. So I think that change alone, and I think not going to college, I don't think I would be in the same position that I am today. I work with a program called Youth Opportunities Unlimited. We work with young people that are considered out of school youth, whether they've gotten their high school diploma, they've gotten their GED, or they dropped out of school. Our goal is just to get them prepared for the workforce. So we do that in a number of different ways. One of the funny things I tell people all the time is I share that story with the young kids, and I think because of where I am now, it's kind of hard for them to believe that I dropped out of school, I got a GED. And a lot of them don't believe they can go to college once they get their GED, and that's one of my biggest testimonies. I tell them, it's like, I might not have been the smartest person in the classes, but I made it through. And because I wanted to make it through, I made sure I got through. And I think, a lot of our young people don't know how to push through things. I think they just quit too easy because it gets hard. But I do think it's giving me a lot of insight on how to work with the young people we work with, because I did go through some of the same things that they went through. That's one of the reasons I wake up every day. I think, I don't think I've ever had a bad day at work, even when I'm working with young people that are difficult, because I understand that there is something in them or why they keep coming, and I tell, the other staff that I work with is that these young people, just by walking through the door alone, letting you know that they need assistance and they're trying to make a difference. But because of where they come from and what they deal with on a day-to-day, it's kind of hard for them to express it. So I think for me, it's always, you get the ones when we do our GED graduation, they get to walk across the stage and get their GED. And at our site, we actually have like a pre-GED graduation ceremony for the family and everything. And when family comes in and tells you how proud they are and how excited they are for what we do, I think that's the most satisfying thing for us. You have parents who come in who haven't gotten their GED but are excited for their kids to get there. So I think that's a real big thing for us. I think, for those who, because for one, they don't believe it could happen anyway. And then when we get them to the point where it's just about to happen, and then financial aid don't come through the way it's supposed to, or they can't get that next step, then it's almost you lost them. Because one, they don't trust you anymore because you told them they can get financial aid and they can't. And then they got to go back to whatever it was they were doing before to make a livelihood for themselves. So, then they stop believing in this dream of college because they don't see it happening again. And, the paperwork for financial aid is not an easy thing. And if I went through all of that and I can't get it, then I'm not going to do it again. So we've had a few who have fell through the cracks because they couldn't get financial aid and the process just didn't work for them. So I think about that every day, about my personal plans and what they are for the future. And, I think, right now I enjoy what I do a whole lot, and I really enjoy working with the young people. I enjoy working with the community, helping young people better themselves. So I'll probably do this for a little bit longer, and I don't really know what's next. I'm thinking about going back and getting my master's degree in public administration, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Because what I do now and I enjoy, and I can keep doing what I do, and I know I can move up in what I do. I think that might be one of the plans. But right now, I just want to make sure. I got 2 boys in college right now, and we got one that's in the 4th grade, and we're trying to get him through. So I think, you know, that's pretty much my plan is to get them where they need to be, and just to continue to work with the young people of Louisville. They need to understand that these are real people that we're dealing with, and that these folks are just like your children. They're just like the guy that's sitting next to your children, and they just want the chance and they want an opportunity to grow. And we keep talking about this big slogan in Kentucky, GED to PhD, but you got to have that opportunity to do that. And I think if it's not afforded to everybody, then we're not being fair. If we want to change the way things are going today, then you got to give people the opportunity to get the education that they need to better their lives and their children's lives, and hopefully their children's lives, so generations on. And I think that would make a big change.